let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever read a book or watched a TV show or film or listened to a song or played a game and paid close enough attention to the events of the story in any of these things and then thought to yourself, what if this has happened differently? Or what if you were creating your own universe, be it a written one or an animated one or live action, or even AI computer generated, and you ask yourself, how good would it be? What if they turn this into a real show? Well, in this series, I'm going to be asking the same question about a lot of things. So, guys, welcome to the first episode of What If? The show where I imagine scenarios, what if scenarios, hypothetical situations in which things played out differently in certain franchises, and try to imagine what if scenarios for hypothetical TV shows and movies and what have yous. And in the first episode of this show, I'm asking, what if there was a Barratt Family TV series? Well, a live action one. With the same cast that I used in the hypothetical situation of casting it. Well, let's get on with it, shall we? That's right, guys. What if there was a live action Barratt Family series? Well, how I'd imagine this to go is the basic synopsis is James Barratt is a happily married man with a loving wife, Millie, and 3 children, Romana, Lily, and Roscoe. And they live together in the fictional town of Midhampton in the fictional Hampton County. And as a happy family of 5, they get up to many adventures together. Now, what I would imagine season 1 to be like is obviously an introductory season with 6 episodes, one for each member of the family in general, individually, and then one for the whole family to round it off as a season finale. And obviously, episode 1 would be a day in the life of James, which would actually depict a day in the life of the fictional version of me. As the character of James goes about his daily business, going to work and meeting up with several important people, and also doing his contribution to the family shop. And then he goes home in the evening and he does he contributes his bit to the childcare. In other words, he puts Lily to bed and reads her a bedtime story. With Ramana and Roscoe being teenagers, they wouldn't need this. So, moving on to episode 2, which would be a day in the life of Millie. And the story would be told from Millie's perspective as she goes about her day, basically just doing the groceries and running general errands, while also meeting up with some friends of hers that she hasn't seen in a long time, who we'll later know the identities of. So they're unnamed friends here. And she gets called into the school to drop, well, actually, she calls into the school to drop Lily's pencil case off after noticing that she'd left it behind. So that would be episode 2. Episode 3 would be a day in the life of Romana, the eldest of the Barratt children, who by this point would be in her late teens to early 20s. So this would depict a day in her life as she goes off to university to hang with her friends, while also attending lectures. And by the end of her day, she commutes back into town on her way home, because the university would be in the city of Upperhampton. And while on her way, she stops by the school to pick Lily up. So she stops by the, well, the primary school to pick Lily up. So yes, she commutes through to the village of Lower Hampton to pick Lily up from the primary school. Before returning home. With Lily, of course. And that's where the episode ends. Episode 4 would be Roscoe's episode. That would be a day in the life of Roscoe. And now, Roscoe being around 16 or 17 here, so his day would start with him and a couple of his mates from Midhampton Secondary School actually hanging out during a study break in the senior common room, having a load of laughs and jokes, when he suddenly gets the signal that he is needed in the head's office. So he goes there, only to be excused 3 hours early because he's needed as an emergency babysitter for Lily at home, who had been sent home on behaviour report. Now, speaking of Lily, episode 5 would be her episode, A Day in the Life of Lily, and this would pick up directly after the end of the last episode. So Lily's at home on behaviour report, being babysat by her brother Roscoe. Now, Lily, being the youngest kid, is primary school aged, as I've already said. She's around 6 or 7 here, so very early primary school. And she was sent home on behaviour report for apparently pinching and kicking another pupil. So, without any evidence to back up their claim, they've had her sent home on behaviour report. Which no one in the family believes she would ever do. And so, until they can prove her innocence, she has to stay at home, where she faces expulsion if found guilty on no evidence. And then, the season finale, episode 6, is the family goes out to dinner. And this is where James takes the family out to dinner at a local restaurant. At one of the many restaurants the town has to offer. And they enjoy their time together. Now, what I'm going to imagine now, though, is how well this season did. In the ratings, each episode of season 1, hypothetically speaking here, would pull in 10 to 14 million viewers, securing it to get picked up for a second season. And an order of 13 episodes would be made for this season. And all of season 1 I would imagine to be airing around autumn 2024. And so season 2 wouldn't be airing until around the same time in 2025. And so, now I'd imagine the hypothetical creator of this show to be, well, me in real life. Yeah, there you go. And the episode would be head written also by me in real life. And, well, actually, no, to be serious, I'd imagine, because the idea was mine in real life, I would want to be an executive producer on the show, with the actual producer being Russell T Davies. Yeah, a BBC show. and the head writer being Stephen Moffat. I don't know why, just Stephen Moffat. Okay. With the main writers of the show being, well, let's just say me. I would want to write for it. And me and an unknown writer, because I can't think of anyone else to put in the role. Okay. So with season 2 all but secured, I suppose you want me to cover a synopsis of that season. Well, I'm sorry guys, but I'm going to end the episode here. Because honestly, the wardrobe designer would be an unknown as well. But the composer, Murray Gold. Okay. Now, if you want me to go into season 2, I will do in a future episode. Next episode, I'm going to be doing the same for a live action Ageless Beauty series. So look out for that one. Until then, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a magical time.